The story opens in the near future, where humans have reached an era where they can create advanced humans with cybernetic technology. These enhancements improve a human's vision, strength, and intelligence. Hanka Robotics, the leading developer of this technology, starts a secret project. They aim to create a mechanical body or shell that can house a human brain instead of artificial intelligence. Mira Killian, a young woman who survives a cyber-terrorist attack that kills her parents, is chosen for the project. She's selected since her body is seemingly beyond repair and her brain can be utilized. Her brain is being placed into the body of a cyborg with greater strength and agility than a normal human being. After completing the process, she is approached by her designer, Dr. Owlet, who talks to her as she comes back to her senses. Dr. Owlet then converses with Hanka Robotics CEO, Cutter. Cutter aims to assign Mira to Section 9, an anti-terrorism unit. However, Dr. Owlet, because of her caring nature, doubts whether she's prepared for such a responsibility, leading to a disagreement between them until Cutter leaves. 1 year passes, and Mira now works as a unit under Section 9's anti-terrorism unit. She goes by the rank of a major. As she is on a security mission, she stands on top of a building, keeping a close eye on a conference where there is a conversation undergoing between Hanka representative Dr. Osmond and an African ambassador. Mira receives directives from Section 9 Chief, Aramaki, and collaborates with Batu during the conference. Suddenly, the geisha bots present at the location begin to attack the people in the room, prompting the major to respond to the situation. Aramaki tries to hold her off on the response, but she removes her jacket, ignores his orders, jumps off the roof, and becomes invisible. She swings into the room and starts shooting at the geisha bots. As she is having an assault with the geisha bots, dropping one down after the other by using her superhuman cyborg capabilities, one of the geisha bots grabs Dr. Osmond and hacks into his neck and kills him before Mira shoots at it to intervene. Then, the geisha robot, while lying on the floor, converses with Mira and says, "Cooperate with Hanka Robotics and be destroyed." In reply, Mira shoots at it and finishes it off. After the attack, Section 9 and Aramaki discuss the situation, trying to understand why the geisha bots acted this way. They discover that the geisha bots were hacked by an unknown source. After the team departs, Aramaki stays behind to speak with Mira about her impulsive actions during the incident, unexpectedly jumping into the room and neglecting orders. Aramaki reveals to her that she still possesses her ghost, her soul within her cyborg body, and that is the reason she is able to neglect orders, unlike other bots. Mira then consults with Dr. Owlet to repair any damage she has to her body. However, she reveals to Dr. Owlet that she is struggling with some memories of her past and cannot seem to recall them, as she is only experiencing hallucinations and flashes of her past and does not know what to make of it. Dr. Owlet declares these hallucinations are not some sort of memory fragments of her past, but maybe some sort of glitches which are completely normal in bots. It's evident that she cares deeply for Mira. After a while, Mira and Batu are driving through the city. Mira tells Batu about some of the memories of her past that she can recall. She remembers fragments of her past, including the tragic loss of her family. On the road, she catches a hallucination of a burning hut. Soon, Mira and Batu meet Dr. Dahlin, who is researching the body of one of the hacked geisha bots for info. Mira tries to get into the geisha bot's AI to learn more about the hacker. During the dive, Mira finds herself in a strange club surrounded by distorted images. But as she moves around, she gets caught by some weird beings, but Batu pulls her out of the connection. Despite the interruption, Mira claims that she knows where to find the hacker. Mira and Batu, accompanied by Ladri, visit a Yakuza nightclub. Inside, Mira is dragged into a room by two men who force her to dance while she's handcuffed to a pole and shocked with a cattle prod. The room also blocks all signals, which means she cannot communicate with Batu or Ladri. In response, Mira starts to fight back, kicking one of the men out of the room and initiating a shootout. Batu joins in, and together they eliminate several of the attackers before continuing their mission to locate the hacker. During the assault, they rush toward a room, unaware that it's a trap. Mira sees the same hallucination as before, a burning hut. Suddenly, a bomb explodes, causing damage to Mira's body and blinding Batu. Batu undergoes surgery to receive cybernetic eyes to replace his damaged ones, while Mira's body also undergoes repair. Meanwhile, Cutter meets with Aramaki, expressing anger and frustration regarding the Major's actions during the deep dive. Aramaki replies that he is not responsible for answering to him or Hanka, but only to the Prime Minister. Therefore, Cutter is not in a position to threaten him by any means. Meanwhile, the hacker locates Dr. Dahlin and viciously removes her eyes before fatally killing her. Section 9 discovers Dr. Dahlin's body, and Mira retrieves a drive from Dr. Dalin's hand containing a list of other Hanka associates, including Dr. Owlet. Mira concludes that Dr. Owlet is likely the hacker's next intended victim. Meanwhile, the hacker takes control of 2 sanitation workers who are driving a truck, forcing them to crash their truck into Dr. Owlet's car. Although she survives, the men exit the truck and one of them attempts to shoot Dr. Owlet. Fortunately, Mira and her team arrive just in time and shoot back at them. As one of the men tries to flee through a water stream, Mira rushes after him in invisible form. In a fit of rage, Mira, while remaining invisible, thrashes the guy with multiple hits until Batu intervenes and stops her. With the hacker's connection severed, the guy is interrogated. His name is Lee. He reveals to Section 9 that he was on his way to pick up his daughter. Mira shows Lee a photo that he believes is his daughter, only to discover it's actually a picture of himself. They realize that the hacker implanted false memories in Lee's mind after the hack. Soon, the hacker again takes control of Lee's body to speak through him and reveals his name to be Q's. Q's converses with Mira and threatens Section 9. As they turn their backs towards Lee, he gets forced into committing suicide by hanging himself with a cable around his neck. Tagusa, a member of Section 9, traces the hacker's signal to a secret location. Mira locates Q's, who is linked to a large network with other humanoid cyborg bodies. Mira is captured where Q's appears and reveals that he was once a test subject of Hanka Robotics but was deemed a failure and an outcast due to his deformities. Q's reveals that he is a failed subject of the same Hanka project that created Killian, also known as 2571. Mira notices a tattoo on his chest depicting the burning hut, resembling the same burning hut she had seen in her hallucinations before. Q's, with pure hatred, reveals that Hanka Robotics didn't rescue them but rather controlled their lives. Mira then converses with Dr. Owlet, inquiring about what Q said. Dr. Owlet reveals that before Mira, there were 98 failed experiments, with her being the only successful one, and also there are fake memories implanted in her. Listening to this, Mira reacts with anger and frustration as Dr. Owlet attempts to defend herself. Cutter orders Dr. Owlet to eliminate Mira, viewing her as a risk. However, during the termination process, Dr. Owlet instead provides Mira with an address and helps her to escape. Since Dr. Owlet helped her escape, Cutter shoots at Dr. Owlet in vengeance and kills her. Cutter then falsely reports to Aramaki that Mira killed Dr. Owlet and insists that she must be terminated as she has gone rogue. Mira follows the address to find an apartment occupied by a widowed mother who reveals that her daughter, Motoko, ran away from home a year ago and was arrested before taking her own life while in custody. This is actually Myra's former home, where her mother, Carrie Momoy, resides. Carrie had believed her daughter ran away and was killed. Unable to process her emotions, Mira leaves and contacts Aramaki, who informs her about Dr. Owlet's death and Cutter's false accusation of her involvement. Despite knowing the truth, they allow Cutter to listen in on their conversation as they strategize their next steps. Cutter dispatches his men to eliminate members of Section 9, but Batu, Tagusa, and Aramaki manage to survive the attack and neutralize their assassination. Meanwhile, Mira seeks refuge with Q's, whose hideout resembles the burning hut from her visions. Together, they uncover that Q's real name was Hideo, and they were initially opposed to augmentations involving both humans and cyborgs before being taken in by Hanka. Cutter dispatches a spider tank to eliminate Mira at Q's location. Unfortunately, the tank accidentally strikes Q's, causing severe injuries to him. Mira then leaps onto the spider tank's back and tries to tear it open with all her might. In the struggle, Mira is able to tear off the tank's motor, losing her left arm in the process but successfully destroys the tank. Q's offers to merge his ghost with hers, but she refuses. Soon, Q's is killed by a sniper riding on a chopper. Aramaki sends his own man to eliminate the sniper to rescue Mira. Batu rescues the injured Mira, who manages to barely survive the attack. Later, Aramaki confronts Cutter after consulting with the Prime Minister. Cutter is accused of Dr. Owlet's murder and crimes against the state, leading to his charges. Aramaki then talks with Mira and obtains her consent to carry out Cutter's execution. He shoots Cutter 3 times, causing him to tumble into his own pool. Meanwhile, Mira visits her own grave with her mother, who finally realizes that her daughter is still alive and with her. In a voiceover, Mira reflects that she understands there will be others like her in the future, but she acknowledges that only her enhancements don't define who she is. With determination, she returns to her duties with Section 9 and leaps off a building to embark on her next mission. And the movie also ends here. Don't go anywhere. Click the video on your screen to keep these wild movie recaps rolling. Smash that like button and subscribe for more insane movie adventures. I'll catch you film fanatics on the next one.